This video was made possible by Brilliant, a math and science problem-solving website that makes learning fun and rewarding. "No, we don't have any home security," said Alfie, instantly realizing the mistake he just made. On a freezing cold, winter night, a man stood at his door, dressed in all black, holding an iPad, his face covered by a ski mask. And Alfie had just told this unidentified man that his house had no security. "Great, I can set you up. Can I step into the house for a moment and take a look?" Fear crept into his heart. His intuition told him that he needed to identify this man without causing any conflict. "Sure," said Alfie. "Can you show me what's on your iPad?" The man showed him his iPad. "As you can see here, these are the different security systems we offer." Alfie noticed a company name on the iPad, as well as a personal name. "Mind if I take a picture for future reference?" said Alfie. "Sure, no problem," said the man. Alfie snapped a picture and then proceeded to hear the man's spiel about his various products. At the end of the spiel, the man took a quick look at the house. "Looks like you got 2 doors and 2 windows at the back and a door at the front. Those are all the places we would need to secure if you're interested." "Sounds good," said Alfie. "I'll need some time to think about it." He let the man out of his house and shut the door behind him. Alfie looked up the company name and nothing came up. Then he looked up the man's personal name and saw that he was wanted for theft in a nearby state. Alfie called the police right away. The moment we think our physical or psychological security is at risk, we feel fear. In my example, Alfie's fear was triggered when he realized that the man at his door may have intended to do something violent. Why would a man be wearing a ski mask this late at night, asking about home security? He predicted that the man might want to rob the house, or worse, he might want to harm Alfie and his family. And the prediction of future pain triggered his fear. Fear shows us the chinks in our armor, the places where our defenses can be beefed up. It points directly to our insecurities. Alfie came to the sudden realization that his house was not as secure as he thought it was, because a masked man was able to get inside and size it up for theft. He saw that he was actually in desperate need of a real security system. And by noticing our insecurities, the holes in our defense, we can actually work on them and patch them up. The next morning, after being protected by the police for a night, Alfie bought a home security system and installed it immediately. By patching up his defense, he was able to overcome his fear and feel more secure in his home. Fear pinpoints the ways in which our values are threatened, and overcoming fear shows us the ways that we can achieve our values. When the thief shows up at Alfie's door, Alfie feels fear because what he values, the security of himself and his family, is threatened. But at the same time that his fear shows Alfie what he values, which is physical security, it simultaneously shows him the way to achieve that value by installing a home security system. In this sense, what we value lies behind what we fear. Or as Joseph Campbell said, the very cave you are afraid to enter turns out to be the source of what you are looking for. Let's look at another example. Angela is a student working an internship at a prestigious magazine company. "I heard they're only going to hire 1 intern back for a full-time position," said Nicole, her supervisor. "Seriously?" said Angela. "But everyone's working so hard. How will they decide?" "You didn't hear it from me, but they're going to give all the students an opportunity to present a public summary of their work at the end of the summer. Out of all the students that accept the opportunity, they're going to pick the one who has the best presentation." "What do you mean by a public summary?" "Like in front of everyone. They have to present it in front of all the students and their supervisors too." I hate public speaking." "Why is that?" "What if I embarrass myself? What if they think I'm not smart or worth hiring?" Angela's fear of public speaking points towards her value, psychological security. She doesn't want to embarrass herself, and she doesn't want her sense of self to be threatened by speaking in public. She values having a good image in the eyes of others, and she fears that public speaking will threaten her image because she lacks confidence and mastery of the material. So at the same time her fear shows her how what she values is threatened, it also shows her how it can be defended and achieved. If she works with her supervisor to master her material, she can be confident in her expertise. And if she takes public speaking classes to improve her skills, she can be more confident in her abilities to present. Fear can simultaneously illuminate the problem and the solution, if it's mined for insight and overcome. The future is a landscape of uncertainty, and within that landscape, there are monsters and treasures, things that are fearsome and things that are valuable. And like so many of the stories we've heard before, the treasure is often guarded by the monster. So there's this interesting overlap between fear and value. The things we value often lie behind the things we fear. The thing Angela values, which is the prestigious job, lies behind her fear, public speaking. In some sense, every treasure has its dragon, but also every dragon has its treasure. Perhaps fear is best understood as a signal to prepare, and through preparation, a reward can be achieved. In my example, fear is what prompted Alfie to start looking for a way to identify the masked man in a non-violent way. It alerted him to the potential threat this man presented, and it prepared him to start looking for ways to overcome him. Fear is what motivated him to identify the thief, call the police, and set up a new security system for his home. And by doing all this, he was rewarded with greater security for himself and his family. By using fear to pinpoint our vulnerabilities, we put ourselves in a position to overcome those vulnerabilities. On the other hand, I think fear might be most harmful when it's understood purely as a signal to avoid. Because when it's understood in this way, fear makes us ignore our own vulnerabilities and cuts us off from achieving things of value. For example, if Angela takes her fear of public speaking as a signal to avoid public speaking, she will never overcome that vulnerability. And in her specific instance, by not overcoming that vulnerability, she cuts herself off from the job that she really wants. But if Angela takes her fear of public speaking as a signal to prepare herself in such a way that she can overcome it, her fear becomes incredibly useful. A practical way to implement these insights is to start by asking ourselves what the specific threat is. For Angela, it was being exposed as incompetent, as being a bad employee and presenter. Then we can ask ourselves what the specific weakness is in our defense. Again, in Angela's case, it was her competence itself. She had no mastery over her work material or public speaking. And then lastly, we can determine the specific plan to help us prepare for the threat. And in Angela's case, she worked with her supervisor to master her material and took some public speaking classes. Our specific plan is what helps us overcome our specific weakness and face our specific threat. In the end, fear can be the doorway to a stronger, more secure self, but only for those willing to listen to it, understand it, and overcome it. And if you want to face your fears of understanding cryptocurrency, I recommend checking out this week's sponsor, Brilliant. Through their course on cryptocurrency, Brilliant taught me the fundamentals of the math and technology behind crypto. And by studying cryptos more in depth, Brilliant is helping me decide whether or not I personally want to invest in them. In their course, you'll learn about the math and technology behind cryptocurrencies through hands-on puzzles. You'll also explore the mechanics of maintaining and securing a cryptocurrency so that you can decide for yourself if cryptocurrencies are a passing fad or the next big thing. But if cryptocurrency isn't your thing, Brilliant has thousands of other lessons over 70 plus courses with new, exclusive content added each month for different areas of study, such as math, logic, or computer science. To get your 30-day free trial, visit brilliant.org/freedominthought or click on the link in the description below. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.